Beautiful stuff. Yeah, so Asher Vollmer made Threes, which a lot of people know some of the derivatives of that game, including 2048, I think is the name of it. It's the sliding tile puzzle games where you combine tiles with the same number. Threes, I think, is just easily the best version of that game. I think it was the first. There's an essay out there, I think, penned by Asher himself about how... let me just... Oops. Went out of the window. Talking about the design process of Threes and why it's better than some of the... mathematically better than some of the other derivatives. But it was never, the popular version of that type of game, unfortunately. But I love it. I play it. It's my go-to I'm sitting around doing nothing game, or my go-to podcast game. If I'll just chuck on a podcast if I'm on a bus or a train, or even just at home, and just slide tiles. It's one of the nicest feeling puzzle games that I've ever played, and it's an instant go-to when I'm not really sure what else I want to be doing on my phone. I've probably put, I don't know if you can ever look up how long you've spent on a particular game on your phone overall, but I would be really surprised if it was less than 1,000 hours, honestly, because the game's been out for, I want to say 6 or 7 years, and I've been playing it pretty much every day since, for at least a few minutes at a time. Anyway, this game got announced by Asher, and I was just instantly in love with what I saw of the concept and the design in this little preview video that the team put up. Vodeo Games is the name of Asher's current team. It is a block-breaking game, similar to a game like Arkanoid or what are the others? I guess Peggle is sort of along those lines. Games where you would typically have a starting position and a ball bouncing between you and a series of blocks that you need to clear out. And the spin for this game is that it combines that kind of general concept with a constantly shifting puzzle to break through in the form of these beasts, and an RPG system that changes the action that is performed when a bounce occurs. I'll get into it. I'm gonna start a new game, so you'll see the game from the start. You'll see the tutorial. I didn't realize how deep the game was going to go. I'm a few hours into a file now, which I'm going to load up after I go through sort of the first chapter or so, I guess. That's the aim. There's not really chapters, but the first kind of opening section of the game, where it teaches you how to use the sword and shield item, which you start with. And then there are additional weapon types that get introduced, which have kind of core mechanical concepts behind them that are different, that all still use the same action of pointing in a direction and bouncing off blocks to clear them and to reach core blocks that you need to destroy, that require a certain number of hits. I've been kind of, in my mind, I've been privately sort of calling it Arkanoid Tactics Advanced, because it comes with a real, it really reminds me of Final Fantasy Tactics Advance in its vibe and in the compulsion loop of it, which presents you with a series of side quests to do to gather resources, which can be spent on new weapons, new armor types, etc. And then a continuous main quest where you go through and you unlock new areas, and you get access to different types of weapons, different types of resources. You also meet a cast of characters that you can bring along as companions on the quests that offer different supplementary abilities. There's also a grid tactical like a pre-fight system where you need to prepare for the imminent battle by collecting a different type of resource. It all sounds very complicated, but I promise you it's presented really beautifully and simply. And the characters are gorgeously designed. The music is killer. Like, every song in this is an absolute banger. This menu music is so evocative. It's a really interesting combination of a lot of really cool influences, and it comes out as like a, I don't know. This feels like a really it feels bigger than the sum of its parts to me. You'll see a little bit of what I'm talking about. I don't even really know where the story is going at this point. So far, it's kind of, the story itself is not overly complex. The world is really fun and interesting. The characters and the way they fit into the world is really unique. But I don't know that the story itself is going to reach some incredible dramatic climax. It could. But I don't think it needs to anyway, because the gameplay itself is really engaging. So let's just get started with the new game, and I'll show off this this opening cutscene, and we'll get right into our first beast. This is Skipper. We play as Skipper. The other fun thing that this world does is it has like a pastoral fantasy facade, but then it has these like little sci-fi, like little tasty sci-fi nuggets, like these. I think they're called nodes or something. These like it's basically the icon used for. To indicate that there is a beast to be killed somewhere, or a town in need, but it's kind of anthropomorphized in a way. So yeah, here we go. This is the first fight, and you saw that it's a really cool. It gives you so much information in such a subtle way, so quickly. Just the Skipper running in. This beast running in, and then the opening animation revealing that encased in the beast's abdomen is another core with a number on it. You only get a flash of it, but it's enough to know that, okay, we've got to destroy this, but well, you don't really know that you need to destroy it yet, but we've got to get to that core somehow, you would imagine. So let's go through the UI first. We've got a little bit of information, more information will start to populate on the screen as we go through and start doing more fights. But for starters, we get this information about the type of beast that we're fighting. In this case, it's a shard type. So these are the scales, these tiles that are surrounding the core. And then the shard types have weak scales and sturdy cores. And also the beast type, the Nestrax variety, determines the shape of the beast and its bodily components. So that's what we get so far. And then we got our HP. We've got how many actions are left in our turn. We've got 2. It's really nice the way that everything pops up. This will continue to pop up pretty much everywhere you need information on what is being communicated to you. Like, you'll always be able to hover over an action or a creature or whatever, and it'll tell you what it does. So let's see. So the only ability we currently have is this Desperate Strike. Abilities are given to you based on the equipment that you bring out onto the field. So the main sword that you start off with, it'll show there's a couple more abilities that'll come up, but the main attack is this Desperate Strike, which deals 1 damage on a bounce, and you get 60 steps. So you can see when you do it, you can see these little paw prints that come up, and that kind of indicates a rough idea of the distance that you can travel with it. When you're going to bounce off a surface, however, it stops telling you how much further you'll go. So there is a little bit of trajectory calculation that needs to go into it. So you can see like the arrow kind of adjusts as the angle changes on the surface. I'm just gonna try and we'll get in that gap there and try and get a couple of bounces off the scales. Okay, so that was not a great move, but we'll get better weapons eventually, which will allow us to do different kinds of things. I will say, compared to a lot of other block breaking games, the trajectory that you go is a little less predictable. For a game like, for instance, Hold Down. Hold Down is another mobile game that I really, really love. It's up there with Threes in terms of my appreciation of it. It's not quite hasn't been out quite as long, so I haven't played as many hours of Hold Down as I have of Threes, but I guess my appreciation of Hold Down primed me for a combination of Threes and Hold Down in a way. So something like Hold Down tells you the exact trajectory you're going to get until bounce, and you can usually predictably, because nothing really moves around, there are corners, but there are not corners in this same way where you can see, around these edges. You're not always going to get the perfect hit into the area that you're trying to get. But a lot of this game is going to be based around placing yourself for the next action as well. Sometimes your turn, you're not going to be able to get any good hits in, but you can position yourself in a way that your next action, you'll fare much better. You'll get a big hit in there. So anyway, yeah. So this is the core. Takes several hits to destroy. These are scales. We've already gone through all of that. We've got one action left before the beast gets to move. So let's kind of in a cruddy place for this turn. But if you can see the very slight adjustment that the arrow makes as you go over this corner here. In my experience, you can see even more adjustment as you hit the very corner of the hand of the beast. This is where a lot of the minute adjustments get made, at least in my experience, is like finding these corners which give you like full 360 range of motion, rather than, you can see as you slide the cursor across the hand, it does the position doesn't really change too much until you reach these points where it changes, fairly dramatically depending on the angle. So I think I might actually take advantage of that, try and bounce off the hand a couple times. There we go. So we're out of turns, we're out of action, sorry, we press end turn, and then the beast shifts. So yeah, each beast has a few different properties. One of them is grow, and this number here will tell you how many scales, like it says, how many scales the beast will regrow at the start of the turn. So it just regrew 2 of them. So now we can use our first action. We can get a bounce off the core here. Let's see if we get 2. Yeah, we got a nice pair of hits there. And then we've got another action. I don't think I can really get in there, but let's see if I can bounce off the edge. You can bounce off the edge. So see, you can kind of predict like the general direction you'll be going. Let's see if I can at least take out a scale or 2. Okay, took out a scale. It'll regrow those scales, because it grows back 2. So now we just need to keep, this tutorial will keep going until we destroy the core. Okay, and there we go. So this is first core destroyed, and as you destroy cores, the associated parts of the beast will break. You'll also see in future fights, the beasts will take actions as well. They'll make attacks, and if you destroy cores that are related to the part of the body that will be making the attack, for instance the hand or the head or the tail, you can stop that attack from hitting an area. Who sent that message? I'm not going to be doing much dialogue reading. I also want to, I do plan on putting this up on the YouTube channel, so if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, I hope this will encourage you to pick the game up yourself. It's on the Nintendo Switch and the Epic Games Store currently. I might even get it again on the Switch because I want to be able to play it portably. Okay, so now we've got the beast making an attack on this next turn, so you'll always know the area that's going to be affected by the attack. You'll usually be able to see which part of the body is making the attack. Sometimes it's a little vague, but in this case it's not at all. So we've got this whole arc here that's going to be attacked from here, and it's going to do 2 damage. So we've got 10 HP. We don't really want to take any hits, honestly. And there's Granny. Granny is a retired adventurer, well known throughout the lands for her abilities. So yeah, the other icon here, this little star next to the number of hits that the core takes, this indicates that it's the vital core, and once you destroy this, the beast is felled, and you move on. Okay, only 2 hits. Gotta be really careful with this next one because we don't want to end up in this area when we finish up. So, okay, good. I was lucky. And it's good. The tutorial gives you this little opening here to show you, the ideal thing to do is to find these pockets where you can bounce back and forth and get a few hits off. Very rarely will you find a beast with a core that has a gap like this that you don't have to create by destroying scales first. So yeah, again, just an easy fight for the tutorial, and boom, we got it. Another banger of a track. So I'll go through the this first section until we'll get a companion pretty quickly, and then that companion will teach us about a different weapon type. And then once I get that weapon and I show how that works, here we go. This is a way more common beast shape here, the Needlebeak. So here the game is showing off another mechanic, so charge. So you build up charge by doing certain moves. For the swords and shields, for the most part, you're going to be doing strikes and building up charge by bouncing off scales and cores. I'm pretty sure you gain them from bouncing off the edges and off hard edges too, like this grey edge here. I'm pretty sure you build charge from that. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure. And then this ability here, Impale, costs 15, so that's what that number there means. And the ability, it pierces everything, and then while inside a scale or core, it deals 1 damage. So as you use this attack, I'll show you, you go in a straight line, and as you're going through cores, you'll deal 1 damage as you step through the core over and over again. Pretty good ability. So let's see if we can bounce off this. Yeah, so I think we built charge off bouncing off the edges as well. I'm gonna do that again. Oops, missed that completely. That's all right. We're in a fine position there for that attack, so it's all good. So from this position, I think it might be better just to go for this core, this vital core, because we can get a bunch of bounces off there. And now we've got a ton of charge, and we're in a really good position to impale from, because although we're going to end up right in the middle of the core, I think. I don't know if it'll push me out the other side. I think it will. Let's see. No, just bounces off there. So yeah, you can see there's an example of what it looks like to be attacked. That was totally on purpose. So this is the other core like loss condition, apart from health dropping to 0. Is this rampage counter. So after you complete your turn in this amount of times, in this case 6, the beast will rampage and destroy whatever town they're attacking, and the mission is over. And then every time you destroy a core, I'll just destroy a non-vital core to show that off real quick. Let's see if I can get in this corner. No, missed it. Okay, can I get that core there? Might be tough. Let's see if I can bounce. There we go. So we've reset the rampage counter there, and we've unfortunately bounced right into the middle of another attack. So that's fine. And we don't have any actions left, so... Oh, I got a mouse over. So yeah, the ram... so yeah, this is the rampage counter, so once we destroy a core, this is the number that it'll go back up to. Some beasts have a really low rampage counter, so you need to be constantly destroying cores. 7 is a really generous rampage number. There are beasts in the later game where the rampage counter is 2, and they've got a ton of cores, and it becomes a real interesting like tightrope walk, deciding whether to attack vital core, the vital core, or non-vital cores, and kind of alternating between the two. And you kind of have to juggle your attacks, because you don't want to get to the end of the fight having destroyed all of these non-vital cores and then still have like 20 hits left on the vital core, because you're not going to get those 20 hits in the 2 turns that you need to get them. So, alright, let's see if we can just finish this up. And we'll do an impale. I think this should kill it. There we go. So yeah, I think it's really cool to not force you to destroy all of the cores in order to complete any given mission. I think that's a good choice. Lots of really good, really good, simple choices made for this game. And the graphics are all gorgeous as well. So yeah, this is the primary resource. Chifley, g'day. Congrats on the first. Welcome on in. This is the primary resource we'll be gathering. Different quests will yield different resources, and those resources will be spent, like I said, on weapon and armor creation. So you can pick and choose your quests based on what motes you need to collect. So the sword and the shield, the main weapon that you start off with. This is really nice. Once we start to populate the house with more side characters, it becomes a really nice place to hang out. Again, reminding me very much of like Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, the moments that you get in your inn, which are not always, you can't hang out in it in the same way that you can in this game, but there are these always kind of cutscenes spread throughout the game. I'm going to be referencing that game a lot, because in spite of the mechanics of this game being really different to that game, I think the spirit is very, very similar. But yeah, in cutscenes you'll see the characters all interacting, and it's always a really nice, pleasant time to hang out in the inn. I love the change in the music as well between each of the rooms. Tangled into a spark already. So yeah, you collect motes, and when you collect a certain amount, they gather into a spark, which is the resource itself. As you can see, as we craft, we've got shimmer sparks and blossom sparks. And with that, we can craft a new tunic, which gives us +5 max health, and an ability that activates when you hit a bonus action tile, which in the next fight, once I equip this, will come into play. And the new sword and shield. So this is the shell cracker. So that now you can start to see like the depth that this game has. Like, this is just the basic starting set of sword and shield. So here, like, you've got the strike, again, it bounces to gain a charge and to deal damage. It's got 80 steps. And then here we've got spot floor, which applies cracked. So we're already getting like status conditions that you can apply to the beasts. And then defensive charge and shield bash, which I think in the next fight we're going to go through. So yeah, we're about to learn a little bit more about what's going on in this world. This is another delicious glass of the homemade iced coffee that I've been drinking a lot of. I had my second Pfizer shot yesterday, so I'm a little, I'm not worse for wear, but I'm a little exhausted. My body is exhausted. Okay, so yeah, here we go. I'm immortal now, it's true. Okay, so we can plan our expedition now. So this map is going to start zooming out as we get access to more areas. Currently, we've only got the main house area. So yeah, you get an equipment selection screen. When I first saw this screen, I was like, wow, there's a lot of negative space here. And I wonder if there will be some kind of other thing that gets filled in, and yeah, there is. But there's at least one, there might be more. Cool, so we got the tunic and sword shield. So this set of equipment has the sword and the shield all as one set. Later we'll be given the ability to mix and match swords and shields as individual components, and you'll get that with the other weapon types, which are gonna fill as well as we go. I still haven't got the fourth weapon type, which I'm interested to see on my main save. I'm really interested to see what it is and how it works differently from the other weapons. Okay. So the bonus action tile, the bonus tile is this yellow glowing tile. So every turn, a random scale will be assigned this yellow glow. And if you hit it, depending on the armor that you've brought along, you'll get a different bonus. So in this case, it's going to be quite easy to hit that tile, so I'm going to go for it. I think they probably do that on purpose. So I think if I hit here, I'll bounce. There we go. So we got it, and we actually did a ton of damage to the vital core there. One action left. I don't want to end up in this area here, so I'm going to try and bounce. Oops. Okay, that's fine. We're on the other side. We built up 24 charge as well from those attacks, and then we've got these now we've got these other abilities we can start using. So defensive charges, I've got one action left, so I've got 3 actions from this set. So on each bounce I gain armor. So I took that hit, but I took the 2 damage and I had 13 armor, so I didn't lose any health. Okay, let's try and get that bonus tile again. Oof, okay. Oh, that's right. I was like, why did I get 3 turns? It's because I hit the bonus action tile, of course. Alright, we did it again. Now, I'll spend this again and get more block. I'm going to try and knock out this middle section here. Okay. We've got a high rampage rating again, so I'm not too worried about losing. And I need to build up some more charge. I want to use spot floor. Okay, that was a very bad round. Can I even get back to... I don't think I can. Let's try this. No. So you can see as you hit curved edges as well, you'll slide along the curve, which is very fun. Alright, we definitely get the bonus action tile there. Now I'm not even going to bother using Shield Bash. The main ability here that you can see with Shield Bash is it consumes your shield, and then for each block you'll get +5 steps. So you can see it's really good attack if you're planning on being really far away and blocking a lot, and then just going in for you know, one big hit. Also, we'll be bouncing a lot. So actually from here, yeah, watch this. We'll hit that, and then we come back, and boom. Core destroyed. Okay. Craft anything? Okay, we got new sparks, Placid and Tangle. We don't have enough motes to get a spark out of it though, so can't craft anything else yet. So let's go back and we can see. So this is a mysterious stranger who we're helping, Cinnabar. So Cinnabar delivers the quests to us. But not really much is known about them. The only thing I've managed to pick up is that their body seems to be made up of feathers that look like those little icons. I don't think that's much of a clue as to their true nature, but I think it's nice. It's good. Again, good design. All right, we'll just keep going with the. I've got new. Wait, what is it? Oh. Okay, so this is the other thing. When your equipment is considered new, you gain, it'll probably come up at the end of this fight, because that's why it's showing up there now. But you gain experience, and you gain additional experience if your weapon is new, meaning you've only used it in a couple of fights. So yeah, here's our first supplementary character who ends up becoming a companion of sorts. Love this opening animation, revealing the sword. Very epic. Okay, so this scout has given us an item, and now you can see that other things will start to open up on this screen. This is like a little inventory section that will expand as we play it. For now, let's try and just get that bonus action tile real quick. So this Needlebeak, level 4, attack 3, grow 5, so it's going to grow 5 scales back every turn, and then ram 6 again. Pretty easy rampage level at the moment. Alright, let's just reset it real quick anyway. We want some more charge. We got a lot of bounces there. And we've got this new item as well. So wait, hold on. There we go, that's the one I wanted to use. I think I just healed myself there. But this item gives you more charge as well. So now we can spot floor, which I don't think I'm going to be able to do. So instead I'm going to defense charge. Where do I want to end up? Well, it doesn't matter, the beast isn't attacking this turn, so we can just bounce a bunch. Alright, let's get the bonus action tile again. I really like the bonus action tile. Additional bonus tile abilities unlock over time. For the most part, apart from one configuration of weapon and armor that I'm using quite a lot at the moment, I've mostly been sticking with the bonus action because it is really nice to get a third turn. So let's again try and weasel our way into that. No, I thought I could get into that little hallway down there and do a bunch of hits, but not quite. And let's finish up with another defensive charge, I think. Which way do I want to go? Let's try and go this way, see if I can... No. Nope, not quite what I wanted to do. Okay. I'm going to defensive charge again. Oh, thought I was bang on the bonus action tile there, but I was not. Alright, can I get back there? I don't think I can. Don't think there's an angle I can really take, so let's just avoid getting hit. So this way, I think? Yeah, that'll do. That will do. Alright, so as you can see, the bonus action tile more often than not ends up, it says it's random, but I've noticed that quite regularly it ends up in a pretty difficult place to get to. In this case, we can kind of skim it. Let's just, there we go. It's not bad. Now I can shield bash with all of this, all of these steps that I've built up. Get the rampage back up. Clear off a core or two. See, you can tell just how many steps you get from a high defense charge with that move. It's actually quite good. I was poo-pooing it before, but I don't hate it at all. Okay. So again, we'll get the bonus action tile. In this case, it might not be super beneficial to get it because it's going to bounce us. Let's see, we're like bam bam. We might end up around this area. Let's see. Doesn't end up being super. Yeah, we're just kind of. I don't know. Nothing to sneeze at, but okay. Can I get that one core up there? Okay. Oh, but I have landed in a yucky position. Let's defensive charge in case that happens again. I'll try and get up this corridor here as well. Will this work? Yeah. It's alright. We've ended up in a fine situation now. So at this point, it might behoove me to start trying to pick away at the vital core. Can I get a nice little angle there? I can't really. I can sort of do this though. There we go. That's not bad. And then this back position here. Nice. And now can I utilize this shield bash a bit? Nice. Okay, so you can see as I destroy those cores, the attack gets cancelled. That corresponds to the core in question. Get that bonus action tile. Pick up the motes as well as we go. I don't actually know if there's much of a benefit to picking up the motes apart from guaranteeing that you get them even if you lose the fight, which I think is the case. Okay, that was a bit of a nothing burger. Alright. We built up some charge at least. So again, yeah, I think I'm just gonna go straight for the kill here. Okay, that was bad. What can I do here though? Ah, great, we got the bonus action, so we can end this. Sometimes you just gotta take those accidental victories. So yeah, at the end, you do collect the, put my rattling ice down. You do collect all of the motes that dropped during the fight. So I don't know that there's necessarily, yeah, again, apart from guaranteeing that you get them even if you lose. yeah, you don't really need to pick them up. Okay, so yeah, now this is how most fights will end. In fact, as far as I know, every fight from now on will end with this summary screen. You'll get the success, you'll get the cores that you destroyed, so destroying cores is good even if you don't need to, just for points. And then under par, so it doesn't really spell it out to you, but my assumption, based on my understanding of the concept of par, is that the game expects you to defeat the beast in a certain amount of turns. I think it's a fairly generous amount of turns because I've never not been under par in my entire experience with the game. Even some fights that lasted a really long time that were essentially wars of attrition, or when I've received a new weapon and had no idea how to use it and then kind of gone in blindly, I've still ended up under par. So I think it's pretty generous, and I guess the idea is that it expected that I would beat it 13 turns from when I did. And then you receive Renown. So the Renown bonus is added because this weapon is new, again, as I mentioned before, so the Renown becomes 720. Okay. So this is John Quill, or Yon Quill, I don't know how you pronounce that, I think it's John Quill. And John Quill is a scout. So John Quill is also going to teach us our first new weapon type. This is also worth noting that Skipper is a non-binary character. I think that's pretty cute. I think making that really explicit as well in all of the language, and rather than avoiding using any gender terms, the game straight up uses they, them, which is cool. And, on top of that, actually, all of the characters that you have access to that become companions all have their pronouns as well. So it's pretty forthright with that element, which is, again, I like that. Okay, so we've opened up our first new area. We've got John Quill as a companion. Now if we go to the forge, see if there's anything to craft. These little speech bubbles, it's optional dialogue, it's all flavor. I think some of the optional dialogue, if you go through it, leads you to new quests unlocking in the cellar. I can't tell if those would unlock if you didn't talk to them or not, but I'm not going to worry too much about it because I'm going to be pretty soon opening up my existing save and doing some new quests and showing off kind of the high level or higher level play. Cool. So this is going to be a tutorial showing you how the prep stage of the fight is going to go, which I mentioned a little bit earlier. So now we're not going to get any bonus because this is not a new weapon set anymore. And we've only got access to the one piece of armor still, so we can just skip through this. Again, it's just flavor. I would encourage you, if you're enjoying the look of this and the feel of it, you should go and grab it because it's got a lot to offer. It's a really warm game. So yeah, we've got this. This is kind of a new element here. Not kind of, it is a brand new element. This is how the rest of the game again is going to go. Prior to every fight, you're going to be given this grid, this hex grid, to travel and gather materials. So now you can see the beast. And the idea here is that you want to get close to the beast without engaging it. So you want to get to adjacent hex grids, and you'll learn, the more that you do, the more that you do that. In this case, it's only going to give us the one piece of information, but eventually there are, I think, always 3 pieces of hidden information, which is its type. It's like beast type, in this case again, shard, its weakness, and its strength. And the weakness and strength will come into play, again, a little bit later. The game rolls out the mechanics really nicely, because it does get a little bit complicated as you go. Actually, gets quite complicated. I like systems, so I'm into it. But yeah, you can see also on the hex grid, Skipper can move as many squares as they want, or hexes as they want, and the beast always moves 1. So later on, there'll be like a fog of war situation where you can only see the hexes around you, and you kind of have to make assumptions about where the beast might be headed. But you'll always know that they can only move 1 at a time. So then you come back to the hex with the town on it, and you can start gathering items. The only one we get at the moment is going to be this explosive essence. Essences are applied in the first 3 bounces, cause an explosion dealing 1 damage to all scales in a very small radius. So while this game has like a really simple framework for, I guess, the genre, as I said before, it's a block breaker. As all of these elements, these these different mechanical elements come together, it becomes something much bigger and cooler, I think. Okay, so now we can engage the beast, and you'll always have the option, if you choose to engage the beast, you land on the square that they do, you can always avoid or bring it on. If they come onto your hex without you doing that yourself, they will engage you automatically, and you don't get a free first hit. So it's kind of similar to for example, Earthbound, which I just played, getting a sneak attack by coming up behind them. So you can see the explosive essence is up here alongside the armor that I've got, and now you can see also that strike applies essence, and that's what that means. Not all abilities apply essence. In this case, only strike does on this weapon set. So, in fact, let's try and make the most out of it. Let's get in this corner here. So you can see how many scales just exploded there. Actually, let's try and get that bonus hit, can I? I wonder if I'll hit that. Ah, I did. I did because of the explosive essence. So the explosive essence destroys bonus tiles, which is really cool. And then we can boom, 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 boom. And we've got a ton of energy now, so we can start doing more complicated setups. Let's get that bonus tile again. And then I haven't applied cracked yet, so let's apply cracked on actually both cores. So now cracked is going to take +2 damage for every hit. So let's do that hit again. Boom, boom, boom. A ton of damage there. Okay. Nice. And then I think we can simply win here. There we go. Thank you, cracked. Beast broken. So we didn't get the renown bonus because, again, this is not a new weapon. We're 18 under par, and you can see the beast trait scouted, so we only got 1, but again later we'll have the option of scouting 3. And pools remaining is another element that gets added to that hex map phase. Pools are targets for the beast that increase the beast's power. So that's how you hunt the beast down, is by knowing where the pools are, making note of which direction the beast is going, trying to triangulate where you can meet it to scout the traits without letting it get to the pools to get stronger. So yeah. I think now we're gonna, or pretty soon. G'day Sourdough, how you doing? See. Good to see you, mate. You're screaming? Why are you screaming? What's going on? You scared? Okay. Skipper's gonna keep fighting. So now we got. I don't know if Jonquil was in the hearth before, but we have the option of talking to him. I think this is how we. No, this is just flavor. So we'll skip that. You're screaming for educational purposes. Well, we love education around here. So we've got another tracking lesson here. We'll do. Maybe I'll just do this one. Yeah. So this is the proper grid. This is what it's normally going to look like. We had the entire hex grid lit up in that last attempt, and now you can see more information here. So the corruption pools. This is one of them here. So we know there's a corruption pool right next to the settlement. And as the beast goes around the hex, we know they're going to eventually end up here, probably last, because they're going to then want to come to the settlement to try and destroy it. If you let the beast get to the settlement without engaging it in battle, you lose. You lose the quest. So we don't want that. So yeah, as you go, you get more information about what's around. So that roar indicates that the beast got to one of the pools. If you go near the pool, you can learn what the pool will do. So there we've got the beast. We crossed paths with the beast. We didn't really learn everything that we could learn, so we're gonna avoid. We can go back to the settlement, get some explosive essence, and then presumably the beast is here. So let's try and meet it here. We did. So now we can fight it. And we got it. We cut it off before it hit that last pool, so it's not at its max strength, which is nice. Okay, we've got explosive essence, so this hit will hit the bonus action tile. Boom, nice. And we're getting a free turn here as well. Reminder, so. We don't really need to destroy any cores. In fact, I'm going to try and avoid destroying that core so that I can leave it for next turn, or a future turn. And have it easily destroyable then. Let's see, let's hit this and slide down. Okay. Pour myself a water while the beast positions itself. Okay, where are we? There. So I should probably be noting the different types of beasts, but you'll see later on there's like quite a few, and that it doesn't really. You can usually tell what type it is just from appearance. You don't really need to look at the information once you've seen it once. You can see that the attack is higher than it normally would be because it hit one of those corruption pools. So instead of it being 3 attack, it's got 5 attack. Let's try and aim down towards the bonus action tile. I want to use spot floor again, so I don't want to use up my charge. There we go. Nice. And then I'll do one more strike here. That'll do. So now we've got a really easy crack that we can do here. And simply up in there. Oh, okay. Thought I'd end up hitting it more times than that, but that's okay. We can easily get the bonus action tile here. And then I'm going to spot floor. I'm going to crack this core as well. And then we can get a couple hits in. Beautiful. So let's just get. I'll get this bonus action here because yeah, and we've got the front of the vital core exposed, and we can very easily take it out. Okay, let's move on. I think we're going to learn about this new weapon now. So calls for aid are the optional side quests that I mentioned before that you can do to gather more resources, more motes. So Granny confronting Cinnabar. Again, if you're interested in the lore, you should check the game out. I don't want to spoil too much of it, but there are some fun interactions. So, yes, here we go. I thought it was the hammer that Jonquil teaches you about, but I've just realized it's definitely not, because Jonquil uses arrows, because they are a hedgehog, I guess. I don't know if that really makes much sense. I don't really want to do much bow work. The bow is so far my least favorite weapon in the game, so instead, I think we're going to quit to the main menu, and I will show you what the game looks like a few hours from that point. I think about 4 hours of gameplay. So we've got a few more companions here. Our house is beginning to fill up with friends. We've got nothing to craft. Is there a way of seeing all of my crafted items? I think there is. Here we go, show crafted. So yeah, heaps more stuff. We've got hammers, we've got bows and arrows, and we've got swords and shields. Again, haven't unlocked this last weapon type, so I'm not sure what it is. I haven't had it spoiled for me yet. We've got a lot of armor options as well. Some of this armor is only really useful for particular weapon types, but I'll go into that as I do a quest, or an expedition, I guess. So I've unlocked quite a few more areas. I've got the Corrupted Coast, the Misty Mires, and Bramble Hollow. Bramble Hollow is that first area. The Misty Mires are a misty sort of mire-y kind of area. And then the Corrupted Coast is where most of the action is taking place currently. The Jackhammer. Here we go. Oh no, this is okay. So there are these other optional side quests that come up every now and then, which unlock weapons that you can't craft that were previously made by your granny and wielded by her sister. They were like a pair of adventurers. I think her sister is dead. I think she died on an expedition, which is part of the reason the granny is a little hesitant to let Skipper go out. I think rather than doing one of the very difficult expeditions, I'm going to show off the hammer, and we'll collect some stuff from the Misty Mires. So yeah, as you go, it starts off and you can take one companion, and then at a certain point you're allowed to take two. So this is what I was saying when I said that it looked like there was much more space here than was necessary for the little graphic of Skipper in the middle there. Presumably you can have a wider party. I don't know if 2 companions is the max. But yeah, you can sort them here. Here's where you get their pronouns and you get their abilities. So each companion has a battle ability that happens, I think they all happen when the beast rampages. So it's essentially like a free set of turns where you don't need to worry about the beast rampaging, you don't need to worry about destroying cores, because when it rampages it will trigger one of these battle abilities. Different companions are better for different types of beasts. For instance, Jonquil circles the beast and fires 30 non-lethal arrows. They do damage, and they destroy scales, but if it's a beast type that is surrounded, there are some certain beast configurations that are surrounded by unbreakable armor, and the arrows just bounce off it and do nothing. You still get the rampage reset, so that's fine, but it doesn't do anything. And Mallow is very fun. He throws superfood smoothies at you and runs away. Those smoothies give you health or recharge your charge or some other bonus effect. And then the other thing is that all companions have is this secondary tracking ability that is activatable during the tracking phase. So Jonquil this is why I keep Jonquil on the team, not necessarily for this battle ability because I haven't found it to be that useful, but this tracking ability is pretty good. It reveals a hex on the grid and all surrounding hexes, which is really nice for working out where the beast is and where the corruption pools are. And Mallow, you can turn the materials that you gather into unique consumables, depending on how many consumables there are on a spot. Actually, the reason I have Mallow in my party is because I was testing this ability out. I don't love it, because I really like the materials and I like the items that you can craft. So using the materials for the consumables that go in a different slot, they're kind of useful, but they're kind of unpredictable as well. Or not unpredictable, but I couldn't work out what condition caused which consumable. So I'll leave him at home. I really like Dandy. Dandy allows you to craft from anywhere on the map without spending a turn, so you don't need to go back to, if you find yourself near or next to the beast, you don't need to spend a turn going back to a settlement to craft items. You can just send his retinue to a settlement and they'll craft them for you and bring them back to you, so you can do that. Poppy is your sister. She throws healing treats onto the field when you hit rampage. Oh, also Dandy's battle ability is cool. A series of hammer attacks. It's way more effective than Jonquil's battle ability. Actually, I might put Dandy in the top slot. I think that activates that means it'll activate his battle ability during the rampage before it activates Jonquil, because you only get... Oh no, they're two rampage resets, sorry. So yeah, we'll get 2 rampage resets with these 2 characters, so that's good. And currently I've been really loving the hammer, and I've been loving Dandy's hammer. I've got a couple of other hammers that I haven't really tried out that I might actually test out on stream. But first I'll show off Dandy's hammer, which I've gotten quite used to, quite accustomed to. The hammer is a really different item to the sword. You don't bounce as many times. You typically just hit a point and you stay there. And it's all about your positioning, very predictable positioning, which I like, and building inertia. So the more times you use an ability in a row, the better the ability becomes. So for instance, this momentum ability gains you charge, and you get an additional charge on a step for each inertia. So the more you use it, the more proportional the charge builds. And it does 5 splash damage. So it spawns X, in this case 5, small projectiles that apply S and some bounce. So as I was saying earlier, you can really see like the game ratchets up the systems. Bows and arrows are a whole other thing. Instead of bouncing yourself, you do reload. You reload roll, which is where your movement happens, and you gain ammo, and then you shoot from those positions, and you shoot arrows that act as your projectile, as you act it when you're using a sword, and then the arrows bounce off. And I can't quite work out how to get arrows to work. The loop of reloading and retaining ammo. You need to retain ammo at the end of your turn, and that ammo translates into essence. And I can't quite work out the balance of that action, that like ping-ponging between reloading and holding onto your ammo. Yeah, especially when you only get 2 turns, when you only get 2 actions in a turn, sorry. If you're not getting the bonus action, which you may not because there are so many other different armor types, it becomes kind of hard to do it all in one turn. So I've been using Dandy's hammer. We'll use Dandy's hammer. I'll try out some of the other hammers at some point. Maybe I'll mix and match some heads and hafts. So yeah, as opposed to the sword and shield where you have the sword on the top and the shield at the bottom, you have the head and the haft for different abilities. I'll go through what each of these abilities does when we're in battle, but the equipment that I've picked gives you plus 10 health, which is better than some of the other items. 5, 10, 10, 15. Yeah, it's not as good as these. But you actually, the Duelist jacket is really nice. You get the bonus action tile with this jacket. The thing I like about this piece of equipment is that when you hit the bonus tile, you gain plus 2 inertia for all abilities. So it basically banks you inertia that you can then translate into really wild amounts of damage in single actions. This move here, Big Slammer, has a very short range, only 5 steps, but if you can position yourself in a safe place kind of deep within where the beast is and build up enough inertia and have enough charge, obviously, to use the Big Slammer a few times, you can just one-shot but you can one-shot a lot of beasts, at least in the levels that I've been playing. So let's depart. So that you can see, yeah, the hex changes based on the area that we're in. John Quell's got something to say for some reason. Oh yeah, there's often conversations between your 2 companions. So Dandy is a bit of a Dandy is an upper class gentleman who is very taken by the charms of the simple peasant folk that he's ended up friends with. He's a little bit obnoxious, but his heart's in the right place, and I like that in a fictional character. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use John Quill's tracking ability. I tend to focus on hexes that will get me a full range of 6 that I can see, and that are far away from where I start, so I don't have to travel as far to get to them. In this case, because of these obstacle tiles, which you can't move into or use abilities on, there are very few options. I could do it here and get this full area, but I'm not that far away from it, so it doesn't seem that beneficial. I'm going to instead view this top corner here. So there's one of our corruption pools, probably the last corruption pool that the beast will get to, and we'll give it increased attack. So now we can gather the nearby materials. It's nice that there's a lot of materials here. Okay, so we've seen the beast. We've learned that it's strong versus taunt. So taunt I haven't gotten to yet. Oh yeah, the decree. Oh yeah, here we go. So the pool that it got to decreased its ram. So it's kind of a rampage counter of 3, which is not very high. So now, I don't know the weakness, but I've got 9 materials, so I'm going to have Dandy summon the retinue from the settlement. And you can see we've got a lot more consumables than were available before. These are like stronger versions, these essences are stronger versions of the smaller ones here. So we had the explosive essence, which does 1 damage to all scales in a small radius for the first 3 bounces. This does 1 damage. Wait, hold on. Oh yeah, a small radius. So it's not quite a very small radius. It's still a small radius, but it is bigger than this radius. So you do more damage to more tiles. Depending on the type of beast, different essences are better value. I've still usually been going for explosive essence. I like to do like the big, the splash damage over a wide area, even if it's not like a huge amount of that damage. But I think I'll test out something else just to show off a different mechanic. We'll get the acid. So acid gets applied to scales at a medium radius, and those tiles take 2 damage at the start of your turn until they are destroyed. We'll do that. I don't know which dart to take. So the darts apply different status conditions. We can see that this enemy is strong versus taunt, so wouldn't make much sense to get the taunt dart. Taunts mean that the rampage bar doesn't go down. Or sorry, the rampage counter doesn't go down. So taunt is good for this beast. It's not good for it because the rampage, because it's strong against it, but the rampage counter is very low. So having an option for an item that will stop the rampage without you having to destroy cores, that's real nice. It's real nice. We don't know what the weakness is yet, so I'm gonna actually wait a bit. Let's see. Let's go to. I think it's going to this corruption pool up here. Let's see. No, it's not. Okay. There we go. Okay. So it's a growth type. Growth beasts, growth thorns that shoot at you before the beast attacks. So now the beast is probably, it was here. So it's probably there, and next turn it'll be here. Okay, not quite. And it's weak versus drain. So now I know I can get drain darts. Drain. Beasts that are drained can only do 1 damage. So this is also a really effective method of taking out a beast, especially if you're taking a lot of hits. Keeping it drained is nice. If I get enough materials, in fact I'm gonna do it. I'll let it get that last corruption pool. It's kind of a shame for it to be fully strong. It's only got a RAM of 2 now. This is gonna be tough. But I'm gonna get double drain darts. You can only so for each weapon that you've equipped, you can only use it once per turn. But if you have 2 of the same weapon, you can use 1 of each. So you can fully drain a beast, or fully taunt it, or fully scar it in a turn, depending on what dart you've got. So now we can engage. We'll see how we go. It's at its strongest, which I don't love to let that happen, but so yeah, you can see much stronger cores than were seen in those first few fights. Let's see. Is there ever a world in which I can get this bonus action, a bonus inertia tile? Probably not, but I don't even really need it that much because this is just the first couple turns. So we want to build charge with the momentum. We want to hit these thorns. These thorns are the tiles that are doing the attacks. So I can do this, destroy that. That acided all of those tiles. You can see it was quite a wide radius. I'm going to build up momentum again, hit this. And that's my turn. I don't think I'm going to worry about draining at this stage because I'm not going to take a hit. So we'll save the drain darts. But as you can see, because the rampage counter is so low, we need to immediately start making attacks. So I'm gonna use the big slammer. I'm gonna show you what I was talking about before. So we're gonna hit this, boom, do 2 damage. Now we've got inertia 1 here. So we can do this, does 2 hits. Now we are going to take a hit, so I'm going to use these drain darts. Each dart does apply 7 drain, and it needs to fill up the bar before it's fully drained. And now the rampage is imminent, so we need to either destroy a core or let one of our companions do their ability. I think we can get this core. Let's see. Yep, cool. So we've got that. But wait, so why didn't I? Oh, because I didn't get a bonus action. But I do have bonus inertia, so now you can see Big Slammer's got inertia 4. It's got max 5 inertia, I think. So the most you can do is 10 damage. So we're going to let this rampage happen. Dandy is probably going to come along and do his big hammer attack. So yeah, I love that. It's such a big hit, destroyed so many scales. The grow is quite large, 21 growth. But now, let's see what we can do. Okay, so we destroyed a core, we stopped the rampage. Can I drain it? I don't think there is an angle that I can drain it from. Drat. How many bounces does it get? Fire it up 50 steps. Let me see if I can... There we go. I can do it from this angle. So now we'll only take 1 damage, even though we were right in the middle of that. Couches Rob, hello. Welcome. Welcome to Arkanoid Tactics Advance. Or Beastbreaker, as it is actually titled. So, we've got the max inertia for Big Slammer. We're right near the vital core. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hammer spin to get rid of all of these scales, and I got right out of the way there. I'm going to use inertia here to destroy this core here. So we've reset the rampage again. It's still drained. So the status affliction lasts, I think, 2 turns always. So it will be drained. It was drained for the prior turn, this turn, and I think the drain will fade now off it, and I'll need to re-drain it. Yeah, if I want to drain it again, I'll need to use my my darts. So now I've run out of essence. So this is why I like the hammer, because there's always, like, with the sword and the shield, you're very rarely in a position where you're doing something other than straight up attacking an area and trying to bounce and do as many hits as possible. With the hammer, I don't really use concussive blow much, so maybe I'll try this. I'll try and configure it to use a different set. But having the push-pull of the inertia, because you'll see here, I'll gain 1 inertia on momentum, and then you lose 1 inertia on the Big Slammer. So I need to use that again now. Get the inertia across the board, destroy the core, and I've got almost a full bar of charge. I've got inertia across the board. I can't drain it this turn, but I'm also not going to take a hit, so I think I'm okay. So I think we can end turn here. Save those darts, just in case. But now you can also kind of see the thing I was talking about, where it comes a certain point in a lot of fights where you need to start focusing on the vital core, which is what I'm going to do now. Let's do this. Well, Big Slammer here. So I've done a bunch of damage, and now is a... Actually, I'm not going to get hit, so I don't need to drain here. I don't need to drain here at all, so I'll just end turn. But Rampage is now imminent. We've still got 1 companion left to do their thing, but instead of using them, I think I'm going to Big Slammer on this core, just take it right out. And then I will... Is it worth going down there? Maybe I'll go up here. I want to gain my charge back up. So you can see also the charge, the amount of charge you gain increases with the amount of inertia you've got on the move. So I mostly switch between these two. Hammer Spin has really good applications on certain types of beasts, but yeah, for now I think Momentum Big Slammer is the combo. So again, we've got a rampage in one turn, so I got a bit of time. I'm gonna ignore this core. I'm just gonna try and get some big attacks down here. And drain the beast again, so I only take one hit. Would have been nice if this was a tauntable beast, but it's not because of its strength against taunt. So the strength and weakness changes the amount of, like the number that's in this bar, the amount of times you need to hit it with a dart to apply that status condition. So when it's strong against something, I think it's like 30 or 25 or something. It's quite a lot. I've only tried it once just to see. So let's momentum to get this inertia, and we win. So yeah, those big hits, the big slammer attack with the full inertia. That's absolutely my shit. Beast broken. Still under par. See, I was quite a few turns there. I'm still 11 under par. So got a few sparks. Let's check. What do I need? Okay, so there's nothing to craft right now. I've got everything. So I think I need to proceed through the story to unlock new craftable items. Alright. I'm going to do this side quest to get this new hammer. I think I have to use a hammer for this fight. Yeah. So let's have a look at the other options for hafts, sorry. So we've got I want to use the whirling head regardless. Tremor haft is what I've got. Leaden haft, let's see. Momentum gain one charge for each inertia. So it's the same move as the tremor haft, but then battering ram. Deal 1 damage for every 4 steps traveled, plus 5 steps for each inertia. Okay, so it's like one big hit. Actually, this could be good because I could use that to get into position to use a big slammer attack. So let's give it a go. Give it a shot. So this is the coast area. It's much bigger in terms of the hex grid, and the materials are a little bit more sparse. Usually on the earlier levels, it's quite easy to find sets of 3 materials, but on the coast, it's pretty rare, in my experience. Okay, let's send John Quill out here. Okay, we got a corruption pool, which is going to make it more powerful, and I'll increase the speed. There we go. Okay, so now there are 4 corruption pools here, so we don't want the beast to hit all 4. Get some materials, see if we can spot the beast. Okay, so it's got decreased RAM, so there's the 3 material. Where is the beast? Let's summon the retinue, make a purchase. So there's some different items available. It's instead of darts, they've got grenades in this shop, which are more expensive but do more of the status effect. I don't have enough. I don't know which one I want to get, so I'm just gonna get explosive essence. It's just like a nice one to have. And I'll keep looking for the beast. Okay, so I think it was at that pool. No, wait. It hasn't reached this pool yet. There we go. So we've learned the element. did it go? Okay, we learned the weakness. It's weak against taunt. So I'm going to avoid it. Oh, damn. So yeah, that's what happens if it reaches the harbor. I didn't think it would reach the harbor in one turn. I should have just taken it on. Shame. Okay, we're not going to... Oh, I can do it again. I can do it again. Usually, if you fail the side quest, it disappears. So this looks like it's exactly the same hex grid. Yeah, it is. Okay. So I think the... Okay, not quite the same. Because the 3 material is not there. Probably not going to be the same beast either. There we go, learned element shard. So it's probably here. Learned weakness taunt. So let's avoid. I've got 7 materials, so I can do... craft this, and I'll get shard, so this has weak scale, so I think explosive's going to be good here. So now we can engage it. Or it can engage us. We lose the surprise round. That's fine. I love the design of the beasts. It's really unique having the kind of the sectioned off portions, but having them all be sort of a consistent design. Alright, g'day 10k, welcome. Congrats on the 2nd. Let's do this. We got the bonus inertia. I'll be playing some Nuzlocke soon as well, 10k, so stick around. Now... Oh, no worries. No worries at all. Oh, wait. I'll thumbs you up. Okay, so... I don't want to spend this charge. I want to gain more charge. I'd love to taunt it. So let's get here. And then... Plus 5 taunt. Okay, I still need to hit it twice. I should do 1 taunt now to guarantee it on the next turn when the rampage is imminent. We've got full charge. So let's get to a position where we want to inertia. We want to, I'm sorry, big slammer, I mean. Here? It's fine. I lost all the inertia that the big slammer had. So now we can taunt it. So now no rampage, which is nice. Can I reach anywhere to big slammer? I can. I will take a hit though. Let's just see how we go. I probably should have prioritized getting out of there rather than destroying a core, but whatever. Okay, I'll just momentum to this point here. We'll get the inertia, and then we can big slam at the vital core. Nice, that was a good turn. And depending on where the vital core ends up, and it didn't end up anywhere. It stayed there. Sorry, I got confused there for a second. Okay, I need charge again, so it's all right. Let's do this. I'll just get out of that area. And we're not going to be able to fully taunt it again, because we've only got 1 grenade left. So I should have maybe considered that when I was making my decision about equipment to take. That's okay. Let's do this, because I can't taunt it, so I need to destroy a core soon. do this, we'll get the bonus inertia, and then we can big slammer here. Okay, that's a bit yikes. Bit yikes. Just use this grenade. No point in keeping it. Oh, this is a tough one. Rampage is imminent, but we can deal with it and get some damage off on the vital core, which I'll do again here. Cool. So now it's only going to take a couple hits. So this was a success, I think. So we can build up the inertia. Sorry, build up the charge, and then use my inertia here to destroy the vital core. We did it. Bit touch and go there. 4 health left. Sometimes it happens. But yeah, you can see why I like the hammer a lot. I think it's kind of as simple as it is. It's kind of got a higher level of complexity in terms of like the decision making turn to turn. With the sword and shield, like I said, you're essentially every turn you're just trying to get as many hits on scales or cores as you can. Which I guess you're doing that with the hammer as well, but it's different types of decision making. Okay, so we got a new hammer. So it's got the same momentum move. Surging salvo. Stop after 2 bounces, plus 2 bounces for each inertia. Okay, so you get more bounces for the more inertia that you have. And you deal 1 damage and increase damage by 1. Oh, okay, so you build up inertia, and then as you get more bounces, you do more damage. So it's kind of a similar concept to the big slammer, except you're not stuck in the one position, which I don't know if that's better or worse. Iron Chisel, plus 25 steps for each inertia, so it starts off pretty, you don't get very far at all, but for the more inertia you get, the more steps you get. And then Shatter 2 does 1 damage per scale up to a max of X, so 2, starting from the impacted scale and spreading to adjacent scales. Does 1 damage per scale up to a max of X, starting from the impact scale and spreading to adjacent scales. So, okay, so it's like an impact attack that bursts and then fades as it goes out. So you're doing 2 damage and then 1 damage around it. I think. Not great. Does okay. It's only 10. It only takes 10 energy. And then Power Punch. Maybe I've misunderstood that. I might need to try this out. Power Punch, 30 steps on bounce, deal 2 damage in a very narrow arc. Arc size increases for each inertia. Oh, okay. I wonder what the arc shape is. A very narrow arc. I gotta try it out. Can I forge anything? No. I'll do it. I'll try it out on a really simple. We'll just go back to Bramble Hollow for this, just to see. It's nice that you're continually allowed to go back to older maps to deal with like less difficult enemies, to try out new weapons. Okay, let's scout out over here. Ah, there's the beast. Okay, so it's forge type. So stronger scales and more barriers. We've learned its weakness now, which is taunt. Okay. And we've learned its strength. Okay, so let's get a taunt dart. Oh, they've got taunt grenades here. So no, we need to fight it now. So get taunt grenades and taunt dart. Oh no, I can't get taunt darts. Huh. I think we'll just do some explosive essence. It's probably fine. It's probably fine. Okay. So we We need to do momentum. Let's get this inertia tile. And then we need to build up some more momentum here. Just go down this way. So the more steps we get, the more energy we build up. So we're maxed out now. And then I can't reach to taunt, but that's okay because Rampage is in 4 turns. Alright. Surging Salvo. Stop after 4 bounces, plus 2 bounces for each inertia. So we've got 1 inertia, so it becomes 4 instead of 2. Deal 1 damage, increase damage by 1. I want to see this. I want to see this. This art. Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. Huh, let me see this. Cool. Oh, I like this. Oh, that's really nice. Okay, can I taunt it this time? Great. Ah, okay, so ideally I should have been using the grenades on multiple cores. Okay, well I'll just do that real quick because I've got a good angle there. Now I can power punch again. Okay, it just doesn't do very much damage is the only problem. But you get such a big range. I like that actually. Maxes out at 5. It looks like they all max out at 5. Okay, gotta build up my momentum again and get out of the range of the attack, so. Okay. So now I'll just power punch. You get a lot of steps too. Yeah, every time you hit, you do that big arc of damage. I like this hammer. I like this hammer a lot. Good for, very specifically good for certain beast types. That is one thing I will say against this game. It gives you a lot of information, but does not tell you the type of beast until you're out in the wild, and that, I guess that adds to the difficulty, which is good. I like to have a level of difficulty, but it prevents planning, and I like to plan too. So, a splendid showing. Thank you. I thought it was splendid as well. Alright, what have we got left to do here? So I need to go to the Crotted Coast and do some side quests here, because we need to find clues. Occasionally, expeditions, key story expeditions, will be locked behind a number of clues, which you need to discover on the hex grid for side quests. So it means doing further exploration in an area to be able to continue on with the story. So let's try it out. Let's try and find some clues. Alright, we'll get Jonquil out over here. Okay, that's some nice material. There's our pools. Head over here, see if we can find the clue over here. Ah, there it is. So we've got a clue, a powder keg, an empty corruption pool. Okay, so they just got the increased attack, which was this pool up here, so probably now they're heading back this way to get to the speed pool. Let's see if we can meet them at the pass. I was not able to. Okay. I don't know what their weakness is. I don't know what their element is. Let's see if they're at this corruption pool yet. There we go. Okay, we got weak against... Oh, we got ambushed. Okay, no worries. I was going to try and get a stun grenade. No matter. Okay, pretty tough beast. Try and head up to this corner, see if I can power punch. Can't quite reach that inertia tile. What does Iron Chisel do again? 25 steps for each inertia, shatter 2. Yeah, don't really know what that does. It seems like just a pretty standard attack. I thought it did something different. Now we can do this. Let's get out of there. Alright, this is gonna be tough because the rampage is really low, so I'm gonna need to rely on my companions to get me out of this. And then in the meantime just hope for a bit of a lucky roll with a power punch. Oof, big hit. Okay. So we're getting rampage, but Danny's gonna do a big attack. Oops, I need to click. Okay, so power punch here, get the inertia. And we can reset the rampage. Oof, lots of damage. You just gotta get really lucky with the placement of limbs. Alright, just do this. Get the energy back. Rampage is imminent, but we got a couple of pretty low cores, so we're gonna take a hit here and die. Yeah, that's a shame. We got the clue at least though, so that's some progress. There isn't really any downside to losing either. You just don't get the benefit of winning, basically. There's no like permadeath, and there's always new expeditions that get loaded in. So that's Beastbreaker. This is a game I think I'm going to be playing a lot of this year, and probably further. I think this is pretty. I mean, I'm only a few hours in, and there's still some games I want to play this year, but contender for my favorite game of the year for sure. I will say as well, if you think about getting it, there's a few bugs. The game has crashed a couple times. I was a little worried about it happening here today. It didn't, thankfully, and they usually happen when you're in your house and you're about to go out on an expedition, and for some reason the load just is not successful. So it's not happening in the middle of fights with beasts, and it's happening, and the game autosaves really regularly, so it's not it's not devastating, but a warning, I guess. But yeah, Beastbreaker by Vodeo Games and Asher Vollmer.